Okay, so I did sneak a peek at the very end, and I know that you guys win. Um, unless something goes like a lot of stuff goes terribly wrong. I mean, it is Copper Fire, so there is probably going to be some stuff that's wrong and very easy to tell. Like I'll cringe my toes at you doing something, it'll work out, and I'll tell you don't, and I'll just basically say, even though it sounds like a good idea, don't do this now. It'll help you improve later on. Um, but to go from that, what you should do if you're recording gameplay to try and improve or to have someone review it over, try and get either really, really close games, average, or bad games because you want to see all the mistakes that you're making. Very rarely will I ask for actual good games. That's where people who know what they're doing wrong can pinpoint what they're doing wrong, but they just don't know like what's holding them back. Like they look at their own gameplay, they review it, but they just don't see something that someone else may see, and they just need a third person's or a second person's opinion. Uh, for something like this, you're in Copper 5, so in my opinion, for this MMR in Copper 5, you deserve to be there. Whatever happened, you are in Copper for a reason, and you have to work to get out of there. It's typically either you don't get enough FPS, but you're getting 162, so it's not your actual hardware that's a problem. What I'm going to expect to see is a lot of really poor aim and poor positioning, just all around poor, um, and or just poor decision making in general. So if you fix even one of those things, like if you have God aim but you can't, you have no idea where you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing, you will probably be in high bronze to low silver or even into gold because aim just means that much more in Siege. If you have good decision making, good game sense, then you definitely wouldn't be in copper. You'd be at lowest bronze for like a decent game sense. Like if I say like your Twitch, like one thing that you should do now, it changes now that she can infinitely gain tasers. Getting default cams isn't a bad idea. Not outside cams. Never try and get outside cams with Twitch, but getting default cams inside actually not a bad idea because by the time that you get to an actual gadget to get, then all of a sudden your charge is refilled. Before that wouldn't make sense, but with only 5 shots, you want to save that for actual utility from the defenders. But another thing with the Twitch change is that it only does 1 damage now. So if I see you trying to shock people, then that makes me believe that you either don't pay attention to what's happening, you don't understand your gadget, or you're just simply, it could have been simply like you didn't read the patch notes. Some people just don't do that. They don't understand, like, oh, this changed, but I don't know why it changed or how it changed. And considering that Twitch's drone is a one-way interaction, unless you yourself get shocked, then you may not know that. But that's a lot of rambling, so let's get into it right here. Didn't get to see the band phase, but it's okay. And you guys are in a 3-stack. So one thing also, since you guys are playing together in a 3-stack, you have to be within 1,000 MMR. Even though you guys are a 3-stack, you should already be betting that you're gonna win, just for the simple fact that you can communicate with each other. That already puts you miles ahead of the other team, unless they themselves have a 3-stack. So hopefully we see some decent enough callouts. Again, since you're in copper, I don't expect you to know every single call out that you should know. Obvious ones, yes, like bar was this is Outback, so garage, upper, lower, dorms, laundry room, bowl. Bowl is like the most basic one that you should always know. Games room, piano stairs, like all those kind of things. Those are like very generic calls that you can tell just by looking at the area of what it's called, or even looking at your compass down at the bottom here. But keep going.
It shouldn't affect your connection, honestly.
And then also one thing that we're trying to do with Twitch is not do that. You could have gone and gotten the garage cam. Well, actually, no, you couldn't have gotten it. So you knew that they were up there. You knew that they were upstairs and that they're going to be on that side. Cade was a little close on there, but I probably would have put my drone in a more safe advantage position or just brought it right back to my spawn point. You know where they are. You don't need to actually spot it. So all these people that are in here just spotting people, you don't need to do that. You can tell who the operators are just by hearing their guns. It's more tricky now that some operators share weapons, but you heard Mira's shotgun. She's the only one that has that secondary shotgun on defense right now. So you know that they have a Mira. You saw Kaid, you didn't scan him, so you can say that there's a Kaid. You just heard the SMG-12 from Vigil, so without even scanning him or any, like, you don't even need to scan him. Him just turning on his gadget tells you that there's a Vigil.
Is
And
that
then now
Kev?
you know. Now you know that there's a Valkyrie.
Okay, that's good.
Insertion in 10 seconds.
So
we go balcony.
5 seconds.
So you guys have an idea of where you're gonna go, but see how only one person on your team has a drone now? Droning makes everything so much better. That's another thing that I don't expect you to do is droning while you're on attack. I mean, you are Twitch, so that is part of your gadget, so I expected a lot more. But I'm guessing if you're not Twitch, you sometimes forget to drone.
To go.
On yacht.
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location.
And we're running Twitch shotgun. Her DMR would be better than the shotgun at this point. The DMRs did get buffed recently, so it's not horrible, but the F2 is the quote meta pick and the all-around better pick out of all of the options.
Sorry, my bad.
The diffuser is
Six
no longer in your
camera.
possession. The diffuser has been recovered.
Another thing, if you ever feel like you don't like the ACOG site because it zooms in too much, go into your options. I believe it's in what is it? It's in your actual, like, where you do what type of screen you have. Display settings. There you go. Display settings. At the very bottom, there's field of view. Turn that all the way up to 90. It'll make it so that instead of the ACOG taking up the entire screen, you'll actually have some area on the side that you can see with 90 FOV. Right now with this, the ACOG would literally encompass the entire screen and you wouldn't be able to see anything. And it would feel like you're zooming in on a magnifying glass. But with the 90 FOV, then it doesn't feel
What's
like
the
that
Thatcher
anymore.
doing? Oh my gosh.
เอิร์ธเข้ามาห้อง A เคลียร์เอิร์ธเข้ามา A เคลียร์
And then all of you guys are just in.
How about me? I'm planting.
So everyone's in and just in there. You guys took A. So what you need to do is you just need to cover your team. So you don't need to be on your drone right now. Like, being on your drone is worthless right now. You don't need any more information than what you have. Your information is one person dying and then you refragging off of that person. Like this guy dying to the Vigil, you figure out where Vigil is and then you kill him. And that's that. Going on your drone here is kind of worthless, and you threw it into the wall anyway. But one thing you could have done is you could have saved whoever was that died right in front of you. Who was it?
เข้ามา
Let's
A
see.
เคลียร์
Yeah, it's Yana. If you had gone on your shotgun and just watched the stairs, watched the flank for her, she would have lived.
Come with me, I'm planting.
And then he killed them. And if that Vigil had a reaction time, he could have killed you. So, right here, like, where are we looking? Like, we don't know where Mira is really at all. No one's made the call out for where she is. The person planting is actually in your squad, I do believe. But there's no idea where anyone is right now, and you're just kind of sitting back in the corner and allowing sightlines to be taken, because the last person could probably be in game room because it's Mira. She was probably setting up her Miras on that wall because that's where people typically attack. You're allowing her to just walk all the way over and possibly C4 the IQ. If they know where she's trying to plant, if they have a Valcam in there, she's dead. If she's over in bathroom, you're not holding it with your revolver. Like, that's what you have to use it. Then she can just walk over and kill her. Like, your shotgun is going to be pretty hard to down her at that distance. Unless you're ADSing. So you hear her to the left. And she's in game room. So now you make the call out that she's in game.
เซ็ต B ไซด์
Bomb diffusion
And we're just not making any call outs for it. Not a bad place for for it. But now you notice she's in bathroom, and you kind of just didn't react to it.
Mission successful.
When IQ starts going in for the fight, that's when you should probably peek out, because she can't fight two people at once, so it just overwhelms people. Because if she had killed IQ right there and just walked in, now you have to go up against her, and she has the advantage. The only advantage that you're holding in that situation is that you don't have to worry about claymores and stuff like that, and she has to defuse. Like, you don't have to defuse, you just have to stop her from doing it. And bans, I mean, sure, all of them are default bans. I really wish people would ban more than this, but Cav is very good because you guys don't know how to
Nice,
deal with
got
it.
killed.
That's another reason you're in Copper.
Where were you? Yeah.
Need to use your drone.
I think they'll probably go to the same side.
So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you don't need to bring your drone in. You know where they are. You can tell two operators that they have already, Smoke and Jaeger, without doing anything at all. So there's no need for you to bring your drone in there.
Mute.
And now you lost it because you, for some reason,
Mute.
had to scan. So you had to call for a mute, so you know everyone that's on there. There is a Jaeger, a Frost, and a mute. You know those,
Do they have mute or not?
or maybe not, because this person doesn't know. And they're like, I don't understand why they're going in like this.
5 seconds. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location in the future.
That was the last one. One thing to know about the rank that you're in, if you go, because if you're up, your friends are raising your level just a little bit, but if you're in actual Copper right now, these operators likely aren't going to change too much, like, at all. The enemy team, and typically your team, typically stay on the same, like, 1 or 2 operators every single time that they attack or defend. Excuse me. People just don't want to switch. They want to play their operator, and they don't want to play anyone else. So keep that in mind as you're going forward, from round to round. And if the Lion is in your team, I don't think that he is, but don't do what that Lion just did, which was use your gadget at the very beginning of the round, because it makes no difference. Lion's gadget turns everyone into a Tachanka, and then turns everyone on your team into Ash, because you're standing still. So say this is a wall, this is a corner, and this is the enemy right here. You drone them out, you know that they're there, and then you already have a person right here, like say you're back here, you're droning it, and you're droning this person in. And then all of a sudden, you see this person here, you say Lion, or you ping him and you say Lion, he's right around the corner, hard right, which would be their hard right. The Lion starts to scan, they're sitting here, unable to move, and then this person just pre-fires around the corner and gets a free kill. What is, like, they can't do anything. Like, even if this person here pre-fires, they don't know where to pre-fire. It could be coming from the right, it could be coming from the left, it could be coming from straight ahead. They don't know. And if they try and run, they get pinged by Lion and could get potentially shot through a wall. And that is why Lion is broken, and that's how you use him. He's better in teams, but you don't have to have a team.
Go in, right in here. Don't stop, go! On your right. Go to your right, go to your right.
So, what you should have done, is, you see the Jaeger? He doesn't know you're here.
Go to your right, go to your right.
See how he's just running away? So, one thing that you could have done...
Don't stop, go! On your right.
Your friend is right, don't stop, just go. One thing you could have done, since you realized that the Jaeger was here a little bit too late, is you could have shot, or used your flasher, and then just oh my god, I can't speak right now.
Go
Just
to your
shot
right.
him.
Go to your right.
Like taking the time to try and kill him right now is a suicide mission because
Don't stop. Don't stop. Go. On your right. Go to your right.
because you have this giant hole right here, which you know smoke is in. So if you turn your back on it, he's just gonna turn around the corner and shoot you, and then you die for no reason, basically.
Right. Go to your right.
So try not to melee people too much with Blitz unless you know for a fact that they're alone. Oh, it was Frost that killed you anyway.
Enemy located.
So this is the thing that I'm talking about with like communication. You know that no one's alive on site because Vigil is nowhere near on site because he's downed on site. So Yana's sitting there breaking barbed wire and stuff, and you just tell Yana, go in. And this is why Yana's also in copper, because she doesn't understand. She's not keeping track of who's alive, who's dead, and she's not listening to her team. But this is when you guys say, Yana, Jaeger is down in game room. Go in, secure the kill, and help Lion plant. And you tell that to Zofia too, because I'm pretty sure Zofia's just like, yeah, she's just going around.
Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect.
And she got down by a welcome mat, even though it's pretty obvious that Frost was alive, or was a thing.
There was like 3 people there.
Op 4 last stop standing. Op 4 eliminated.
And if Yana had actually told Lion where Vigil was, then they could have actually killed him and done something about it. Lion was just running around doing who knows what because he didn't
I wanted to
know.
finish him. I
And
saw the
then-
Frost.
Yeah. Like the biggest problem, one of the bigger problems I should say, with being in copper is that just no one wants to talk. If anyone's talking, it's to shit talk other people, which is the worst time to talk. Like, there's no reason to do that. It just makes everyone mad, and then you're more likely to lose at that point. Talk, even if you don't think that what you're saying is necessarily the most important thing. If you died and you know the location of an enemy, say something. Even at the end there, where you're dead and you're just looking through everyone else, if you say Vigil in game room, now all of a sudden Lion isn't running around scared trying to figure out where the hell he's supposed to be, and he just
We
knows.
garage this time.
He just knows that they are in game room and can go and help Zofia or go kill him.
Drone is located.
So now you know where, and now okay, you're gonna put your drone in a pre-placed spot. Good job keeping it turned around so that no one scans on it.
On same side. Go from yard.
And now you lost your drone. So you should have just kept your
10
drone in the
seconds
same spot that it was in. It would have lived longer.
5 seconds to go. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it. You located a bomb.
They had a frost last time, so be careful. That's no. You used to be able to do that. You cannot do that anymore. You have over a half a second of ADS time before you can actually fire your weapon. Most people, so here, we're talking in milliseconds, that's 600 milliseconds. Most people, the average person's reaction time is between 3 and 500 milliseconds. So he's going to react before you can fire off a single shot. Here, let me put 2 O's behind that. So you should never try to ADS when they're not impaired or it's a guaranteed kill. Like what you should do is here. If I go back here, what you should do, you see him. So what I would do, if I were you, is I would move to the right, since you know no one was watching the door to your left over here, not this door, but the one inside actually. I would move to your right, ADS, and then peek it while you're aiming down sights. Because otherwise, you're not going to win that fight, as you can clearly see. Like, doing that against anyone will kill you, unless their internet is like 200, 300 ping. Like, see? Yeah. And then Blackbeard dies.
Reloading! Deploying shock zone!
Scanning, stay sharp.
Target in sight. Second
So,
floor.
Yana's just off on her own, trying to clear roamers, or she just doesn't know where sight is. IQ got the kill, which is good, but you know where at least two of them are. And that Twitch is trying hard to control that recoil.
Dropping knives.
Fire out!
Injured.
We're last operator standing.
So now you make the call. She's in office.
I'm out. Gotta reload.
The diffuser has been recovered.
Is that door open on her end?
There are two spots for frost trap.
Apparently.
Loading ammo.
What? Twitch, you don't know how to control recoil!
Oh no, how to do?
What, yeah? I'm carrying 7 kills, 1 assist,
Friendly mission
2 deaths.
I'm totally not like
Oh, wait. I don't know who it is in your group that's saying that they're carrying, but you have to also understand with Siege, you have entry fraggers and you have support ops and utility ops and all this other stuff. Just because you're filling the role of entry fragger does not mean that you're necessarily carrying. It does indicate that you're doing a lot, but considering that you're playing against coppers, it isn't, I wouldn't say, a huge feat.
Yeah. Worse than, it's worse than when Renting try to control recoil when he plays Mira.
One thing to think about with when it comes to copper that I just realized the other day, if you take everyone that's in copper 5 to copper 1, they barely make up the same amount of people that is in gold 1. So 5 or 4 ranks away from champion, you have a group of people where their population is greater than the entirety of copper. Like, that's how little of people are in copper. That bell curve where it goes up and then it goes back down, you're basically the diamonds and champions of copper, of the unskilled people. Like, you will go against the same people over and over and over again. I will hardly get games against the same people when I start each season, whereas every time that you're playing right now, you're gonna see familiar names like over and over again. Like, every now and then you're gonna see like, oh, I played against this person. Oh, they were on my team the other time. Whereas in like the middle and to middle high, like once you start getting into platinum, that's when it's you start getting that again, where you actually get people that were just in your game or something like that. But where you are right now, you're playing against the same people and they're all equally just bad. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. You can't, I don't really say that you can carry these games because it's just
Right,
one person
you
is
shoot
less
the
bad
feet so
than
you can get
everyone
hit.
else.
no, I know what I can control. I'm totally not
And how
carrying
long
all
is this? This is only 16.
Oh, I didn't even sell you the diffuser that I want.
How? That's really?
Come on,
Okay.
it's 3-0. Then we gotta win this.
Are you guys using?
Yeah.
Are you losing?
Yeah, 3-0.
Of course.
All thanks to me. 7 kills. Danny only got 2.
One thing I will also say, you guys are in a 3-stack, and there is zero communication between all of you. Like, absolutely zero. The only communication that I've heard so far is cover me that I'm planting, complaining about a Twitch not being able to control the recoil, someone who's at the lowest skill of players not being able to control one of the harder to control weapons in the game, and then bragging that they're carrying the game and a copper game at that. You guys need to communicate like a lot more. If you guys simply communicated, you'd be a lot higher in ranking.
I got one guy 0 kills.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Well, it's a 3v3 now, and I just came back to 2 minutes.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
I would probably, unless you're planning to impact trick the thermite charge or a Hibana charge, I would probably plan on bringing barbed wire over impacts because you're going to get more value out of that than you will with impacts. But this is also copper.
If they're gonna do the same thing, right? I'm gonna see for them.
Advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Oh, I got a drone.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds to insertion.
Oh, this Maestro Cam isn't horrible.
Where do you wanna go, Daniel?
The first one wasn't the best. Watch where you're firing.
Be ready for hostile action.
Can me!
And we haven't put down any of our breaching charges.
They're
at
not going
all.
by the typical way.
So, all you have to do is put down 2 Evil Eyes and reinforce. You have no excuse to not put down your reinforcements. Find a place that you can put them down. Like, you could have put them on this wall right here. That would cover Mozzie a lot better. You could put it on the wall, like where your Evil Eye is. Like, if this is the wall right here, your Evil Eye is sitting right here. There's some other walls right here that you can reinforce that just limits the attacker's line of sight a little bit more. Or you could reinforce these walls in game room. I don't know if someone got those or not. I know for sure in bathroom, these 2 walls were not got. So you could reinforce those. But there's places that you could have reinforced that you're just not. You're just ignoring.
Hey, tell them social distancing. Bathroom.
Right, someone did reinforce all of game room basically.
Oh, I destroyed my own drone. That big guy. Ready?
It's good that you're getting ready for the possibility of someone actually shooting it by looking away. That's good, but call out where they are. Don't just zap them and cross your fingers that you live, you know. Ooh, that Mozzie. So, you guys aren't even communicating to the Randys. You're refusing to. Because you guys are talking in chat or in your own Discord channel. He's talking. He's the most vocal one so far, unless your mic is muted and you can't talk or whatever. And I've just been missing that the entire time. But he's using text chat to talk to people. Like, just talk. Like, hit U is the default for talking to someone in voice chat. Just hit U and talk to them. Say, hey, I'm sorry, that was my bad. Instead of stopping, Y, sorry, enter. You just hit U, hey, I'm sorry, and then you're back. Like, it takes a second, and then you're back to whatever you're doing. Whereas typing takes anywhere from a second to 5 seconds, depending on what you're trying to type. And if you're trying to type out an actual call out, one, the person may have their text chat turned off. A lot of people do that. I've done that from time to time just because I don't want to look at shit. and then I just forget to turn it back on. And then 2, they have to look down at their screen, see what you said, and then look back at their center of their screen to look where they are. Imagine if every time that you played the game, you had to look down here, see where they're coming from, and then be able to go back up here and react to someone peeking you around the corner at lightning speed and get the kill. You wouldn't be able to. Like, people in the higher ranks always communicate. After you get to gold 1, you just don't have people that type in chat anymore. If I see someone typing in chat, I tell them, don't say anything in chat, or don't, whatever you say in chat, don't expect me to see it, because I'm not going to look at it, because there's no reason to. Literally just talk. I would rather you say something and you don't know if it's good or not than for you to type it in, waste your time typing it in chat, and then it's definitely not good. And you're just walking out into the open without ADSing. Now you are. And she was just walking by.
Wait, I can use an operator as casual.
So,
Wait, I can.
go back here. Fuse is 1 HP. And your teammate just didn't call out where he was. This is the guy that's in chat with you. I can hear him, and he's not saying where Fuse is. Like, if we go back here. Go back. He's fighting him. He's dead. Nothing. Nothing. Fuse, like, see, he's typing that when he could say Fuse bathroom 1 HP. Like, by that time, you have a operator, location, and their HP. And you're running in un-ADS because you don't know he's in bathroom.
Wait, I can use an operator as casual.
And then that happened.
Wait,
You tell your parents, social distancing cannot go out eat one.
hey,
Today got 1, 2, 5, 4 cases.
I can use on operators.
Huh? What do you mean? You can use all?
Yeah. I chose capital and my character is multi.
Failed. All friendly.
I don't know what he was saying at all. Something about Corona, obviously.
Yeah, I showed that.
But you see how you could have gotten that kill if he had just said, hey, Fuse bathroom 1 HP, like given an actual call out. Well, that'd be showers, but anything at all versus taking the time to type it out in chat. Like, no one got any use out of that whatsoever. Fuse 1 HP doesn't tell me anything. It tells me the HP of the operator. It doesn't tell me where they are, or where they're heading, or where they came from.
What? You should not hack that game not hack
I screenshot it, I should.
Like, the only thing that matters in Siege is information on the location of a person. Because it doesn't matter what HP they are. If you shoot them through 5 walls and shoot them in the head, they still die. Like, you could end up doing either 1 damage or the rest of their health. Always location over HP.
Screenshot.
Screenshot.
Terrible heat. Then you're going out for ice cream later. But social distancing. Is it you're buying and then come back?
Dabao.
You eat over there lah. Go McDonald's buy. You go buy McDonald's, go buy ice cream.
Protect the bomb.
And then you're also wasting an impact charge blowing that open when you could just use your secondary shotgun for that. Like, yeah, it would be more time consuming, but I mean, you'd get the same exact result.
Yeah, I found. Look.
And then one thing you could also do, just to make this Maestro Cam more effective, is you could put it on this wall here, either over here, or you could stand up on the table and put it up on the top of the TV, making it harder to reach and everything. And being back here isn't a horrible idea. You could still like trick a thermite into putting a charge up there. You're secretly keeping it back there, and then you just zap it right after he puts it on. Like that's completely viable if that's what you're going for. But considering they're probably not going to bring a thermite, then that's kind of worthless. It's better to just have the information on what's in this entire room than to just have information on the wall and the door. So putting it on this wall would be better suited for how the enemy team is playing right now.
Look.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Your gear is broken.
And then when I said I can't be out, it showed.
Bomb
I
located by
got
Op 4.
activity. Guess what? I can't complete.
And we actually get
You know why?
reinforcements too, which is great.
I can't complete the UB.
We got coronavirus.
Who got the
Bathroom. Oh, okay.
So that's when you say bow window.
wall? I mean,
Be
But you
advised.
see how you don't have any information whatsoever except for the door and the window, or the door and the wall. Like, you don't know if anyone's actually in that room or not.
wall.
So your mic must be muted then, because I saw you talked, but I didn't hear anything come out of it. So I'm guessing that you actually have been making some callouts, which is good. I'm guessing at that, but considering that he is making literally no callouts whatsoever and just typing them, then I don't know. And this is the first time that I've seen your icon come up here. But literally what I would do is, if I were you, I'd go back to where you were, because you heard it was a shield in this window. Watch the camera on there, and just tell the doc when to peek, and that's that. Because the shield is going to be staring at you through the shield, so just tell him when to peek and leave it at that. Oh, Blackbeard can't even
Diffuse on
react.
ping, diffuse on ping, hey, Tanner, diffuse on ping.
That's the first actual call out we've had.
Me.
Alright, when that happens, if you're gonna ping like that, just say Ash on ping, or Ash in dorms. Don't just ping and leave it at that, because some people just literally, because what'll happen is every time you ping this, it gives a little that ping notification to everyone on your team. So Doc, way the hell over there, or say, trying to remember or think of a way that this, like, say someone's watching piano over here, piano stairs, or the door to piano, and they're looking the opposite direction that you are right now. Smoke was already here. He knew what was happening. Someone that's over there that has no idea what the hell is going on. You ping, they get that notification. Now all of a sudden they're looking around like, what the hell? What's going on? There's a ping all of a sudden, and then you can possibly cause him to look away and die because he's trying to find out where this ping is, which could impact him, but maybe doesn't. You need to communicate who you're pinging to and why you're pinging. Otherwise, you leave it as is. And you didn't watch the kill cam for some reason, so probably watch the kill cam on that, because I'm pretty sure he just walked in from the window and just killed you right in front of the doc, but Doc was healing Frost. But you need to look at that and figure out why you died. Like, the way I thought of it, the way I've explained it to people who have started out, that my friends who have started out, is look at how stupid you look as you're dying so you never look that stupid again. And now Doc is going over there because he doesn't know that both the other operators that are left are on that side. It's just the Ash and Thatcher that's left, and they're both on that side. And he doesn't know that because you guys aren't talking to him.
Is he in bathroom?
Looks like you
Turn them
told your guy, and he's going over there, but Doc's still sitting over here like, I don't know where to go. What's going on?
Op 4, last stop standing.
And
Nice.
now they're
Four
both dead.
eliminated. Mission successful.
But that went pretty much as well as I expected it to. Not much to say. I'm sure if it was an actual loss, then it'd be a lot better. 4-0 losses and 4-0 nearly 4-0 wins don't really teach you as much as if you were to lose, because then you actively see what you're doing wrong. This I can only say, hey, yeah, it worked now, but next time this happens against an actual good player, it won't work, and that's hard to explain because some people will say, well, I'm in copper, so I'm doing this, and what I like to reply to that is, it only works in what was it? I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember. This has been so long. Copper strats work because you're in copper, and that's it. If you think that a diamond player plays any semblance of a round with a copper strat, then you're dead wrong. If you think that if you play like a copper because you're in copper, that you're gonna somehow make it out of copper, then that's not gonna work. Like, you're in copper because you're playing these strats. They only work in copper because you're in copper. A diamond player going down into copper, they're not gonna play any differently. They're gonna play the exact same and rank up the exact same way. So there's no reason whatsoever for you to not play better and to get away from these bad habits. Bad habits of not talking to teammates. Bad habits of not always using your reinforcements. Bad habits of un-ADSing every time you're turning around a corner. Like, every corner you should be ADSing and ready to shoot. Bad habits of on attack when to and when not to drone. Bad habits also on attack of when to and when not to ADS if you're playing a shield. There's things that are like, I can see stuff that's going wrong that doesn't even give me the full picture of why you're in copper. Like, you're obviously a copper player, and there's stuff that you're doing that's wrong, but there's probably a lot more that I'm not seeing simply because you had one person pretty much kill everyone for you. But yeah, that's about all that I got for you. Biggest thing that I would say is learning, just playing the game more. Your aim isn't horrible, but it could be worked on, so T-Hunt's help with that. And biggest thing I would say is just communication. Either with your team that you're talking to in the 3-stack and telling this person to actually talk and not type in the chat, or communicating to the whole team and everyone. Even if this is like one of those things that I still think is like somewhat weird with my friends that I play with, if we're in a 4-stack, even if it's casual, we'll talk to the person and we'll communicate to them what's going on, simply because that's how we play the game. If you talk and communicate to someone in casual, you're gonna do it in ranked, and we do that all the time. We, no matter what, we just communicate to them. Like, even if they're sitting in the corner eating glue, we still tell them that there's an Ash coming around the corner at Mach 5 in about 4 seconds, because they may survive. You don't know. Always communicate. Always, like, yeah, sometimes your teammates are going to be shitty and they're not going to be that good, but always count on your teammates actually being somewhat good and possibly getting the kill, because then they might actually do it. And yeah, that's about all I got for you.